guys, how's it going? Today is Saturday, October 28th, 2023. Got some of the corn off. We're working at home Manure right now, getting it out and getting the fields covered. Got the skid loader down here. We're gonna work at hauling off of this pile here down back today. This is manure that comes from these calf pens up here, so it's mainly sawdust, and then there is some manure from the stable down there in the barn, and it's mainly sawdust too, so it's just real fine material. Usually doesn't take long to haul it. Got the skid loader here already. Gotta go up here and grab the spreader and back it down in here in an angle, and I can scoop off the pile and load right here. Got the 2294 hooked to the spreader. Gotta check the oil here quick. It's full. We gotta check the hydraulic oil here next. Renting the tube line Nitro 375 RS spreader. Same one we always rent. Oil is full. This tractor did have some leaks, but Marv had gotten them fixed, so it don't leak that much oil. It's leaking here at the steering box now. There's a fitting that was loose and my dad had tightened it up. I think it still might be leaking a little bit, but it's not as bad as what it was. Put a master switch on this tractor. It's got wiring issues somewhere, and many of you know that we lost a tractor this spring due to electrical fire. So what we're leaning towards what had happened was something had shorted out. Electrical fires, as soon as you get an arc somewhere, and as hot as it was that day, it didn't take long and the fire was fully involved. The tractor was just up in flames. So to prevent another fire, we put master switch on this tractor. We gotta put one on the 2290 and the 2090 eventually here. Just in case there is wiring harness rubbed through somewhere, you just don't know. There's wiring harnesses that go all over the tractor. So right now the power is going through the tractor. You shut it off, the power is just going from the battery to this, and then when you turn this on, it completes the circuit and it'll send power to the starter, and from the starter it'll go to wherever the power always went throughout the tractor. See, we got power. Turn that off. No power. I suggest putting them on your tractor, especially if they're older and they have wiring issues. They'll save a fire. Our biggest worry was having a tractor fire in the shed and losing a whole shed worth of equipment. It's not bad when it was sitting out in the field like that 5140 was when it burnt, but we still lost a tractor and the corn planter. It could have been much worse. So just a little bit extra insurance there, you know. Just try to help keep things from burning up if you can. These older tractors are kind of known for catching fires because if you just get a place that the harness rubs through and there's power going to it and nobody's around and it starts arcing, catches some stuff around it on fire, it's up in flames before you know it. Taking the first load out here. We're gotta take it out here on the flat. Now we had seeded wheat out here, but it shouldn't hurt if we run on it. It'll still come back next spring. Just spread the first load out here, heading back for another. Dad is busy working at hauling shale this morning here. Yesterday, our neighbor that has this cat 953 was here and he was digging some more of the shale bank out. Plan is someday to build onto the shed here, so just gotta get the bank dug back. Dad's home with the 125 and our dump trailer. We'd had that dump truck last year that we were borrowing, but we're just using the dump trailer this year because there's not a whole lot of shale that needs hauled. Last year there's quite a bit of shale that got moved up there, but yeah, this is really nice stuff. It'll break up and fill in nice, I believe. All right, let's get this load hauled out. We we'd always talked about adding on to the shed in the past. And last year we had just needed some fill up at the heifer farm, and we knew there was good shale right there because it had been dug out before to build the shed. The bank used to come down over, and it had been dug out. And now we're just digging it back some more. That way we get some time, and we're able to do it. We'll add on to the shed. It'll be nice. We can keep some more equipment inside, because right now we just got the tractors, the round baler, and the corn planter. Pretty much all the tractors but the one that's on the mixer, and then the side-by-sides and the skid loader usually, and that pretty much fills it up. And then the end bay here, we keep cattle in there in the wintertime to freshen. I think it's going to turn out to be a pretty nice day today. It was a little cooler this morning, but it's been pretty warm lately compared to what it has been. Like, the high's supposed to be close to 80 today. We got blue sky and the sun's peeking through there. We're planning on chopping the rest of our corn silage again this coming week. Today's Saturday, I believe Monday or Tuesday, I think they're planning on doing it. But now they want rain at least Monday, Sunday through Wednesday. So I think that's gonna screw that up. All of our corn's ready to come off. We wanted to get the corn chopped and get the trench as full as possible. And then whatever we have left, we'll just shell it and stick it in the bag for high moisture corn. But I think the rain's got to throw a wrench into that. If we do get some, maybe we'll luck out and we won't get any. I don't know. But it's supposed to cool off, be down in the 20s at the end of this week. And yeah, goofy weather patterns, I'll tell you that much. Spreader's got a web chain in it, and that takes it back to the vertical beaters. It does a decent job spreading out. I'm sure it's not the best spreader out there on the market, but it's not the worst. Definitely beats a horizontal 195 New Holland, I'm sure. But there's nothing against a 195 New Holland. We had a 789 in the past, and it worked out good for us until it just rusted apart. It's a common thing with those spreaders, they start rusting. The axle had actually broke on that spreader. First off, the beater had fallen off, and then we just started using it to haul manure out of places, and then we piled up and then ran a spreader. And back then there were Heggendorn spreaders that the dealer had to rent out, and then they switched to tube line because they quit making the Heggendorns. And I guess this location can't get the Heggendorn spreaders in or something, and so they just have the tube lines. The 195 New Holland would be a pretty decent spreader to have around for us. We don't haul a whole lot of manure, but we haul enough that having a spreader around would be nice. We just run a spreader spring and fall, and then it's piled through the summer and then the winter, and then whenever we're trying to plant corn in the spring, we're hauling manure. If we had a spreader, we could just haul it out in the wintertime and be done with it. We wouldn't have to worry about it. Springtime, we could just focus on tillage and getting the corn in the ground. This spreader here works all right. We always like them Heggendorn spreaders. I think if it was up to me and I had to pick any spreader out on the market, it would probably be a Pickrite. Pickrites are built locally. They're built here in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, and they have a good reputation. They have a poly floor, and I think the whole box on them is poly, so you don't have to worry about rust. And I know 10th Gen, if you watch him on YouTube, he got one of them, and he says he really likes it. There's quite a few spreader brands out there on the market. Now, like I said, I don't know what's the best spreader out there, but I mean, in the past, New Holland, they always had a good reputation. New Holland 195s were a really popular spreader for a long time, and now you see a lot of those New Hollands are getting traded off on H&S spreaders. I mean, the spreader market has come a long way. You go from having horizontal beaters to companies coming out with a vertical beater design. The vertical beaters are nice, but they're expensive. For one of these spreaders, I believe it's close to 40-some thousand for a brand spanking new 375. Hagendorn spreaders, 5290, be around this size here. They want 50-some thousand for a new one. Now for us, we can't justify having a brand new spreader. I mean, we use a spreader enough, but not quite enough to have a new one around. You'd almost have to rent one out all the time to help pay for itself. But it's different if you're a really big operation and you're using it all the time. Then yeah, definitely it'll pay for itself. But for us, a used spreader, some sort of used spreader that's in decent condition would fit our needs really well. I forgot to mention Coon spreaders, Coon Knight, they have a pretty good reputation for their side slingers. A lot of farms that haul a lot of liquid and solid usually have one of them. These spreaders, you can only haul solid manure, but if it's too soupy, it'll just splash out and it can run out the back. There is a seal at the door down there at the bottom, but I think it would still leak out some. That shot for you folks. It's been probably 2 weeks now, I guess it has been, since we planted this, and it just started coming up through. It's up a good couple inches already. Looks like it's coming good. I don't see any skippers anywhere. Looks like the drill did a nice job. Got this pile cleaned up for the most part. I just have to scrape up here real quick with the skid loader, push it all up into the pile.